The best revenge is success. And that's a particularly beneficial philosophy when you hate yourself. When you are your own worst enemy, the best way to exact revenge is to start setting short-term attainable goals and achieving small but significant successes in your life. So in my mid-teens, I began to experiment with drugs and alcohol. By 18, 19, not really a day would go by when I wasn't under the influence of something. And by 21 years old, I was completely and utterly dependent upon alcohol. Like everything else had brought me to alcohol. And so at that age, I had 3 goals every day, okay? To eat something, not defecate myself, and not have a seizure. And all 3 of those goals required copious amounts of alcohol. And even with that, I wasn't always successful. So at 21, I got help for my alcoholism. I went into a treatment center. I did what they told me. I got out. I started participating and still do participate in a 12-step program. And I hated myself. I hated who and what I had become. And I realized that the best way to take revenge on myself was to start being successful. And so I took tiny little steps, and I just decided I'm going to do the best I can do at what's in front of me. Whether that's a step within the 12-step program, getting a job, being on time for the job, keeping the job, trying to get promoted in the job, whatever the goals were. Save some money, get a car, pay for the car by myself, get insurance for the car, pay for the insurance by myself. Stop asking other people to support me and to become self-supporting. These were the goals that I had. And with every tiny little success that I got to stack on top of the other, I was taking revenge on that person that I had become. And through love and through goal attainment and through work, I was able to forgive myself. And so I can talk about that person, that 21-year-old version of myself, completely dependent on alcohol, freely and without judgment, because it's almost like I'm talking about someone else. And so I think about the revenge, is success. And that philosophy worked for me, So I no longer hate myself, but I do know that I am still my own worst enemy, okay? And I will sabotage myself worse than anybody else ever could. So to keep that enemy at bay, every day is a venture to achieve a small success for the day, whatever that is. Just to do what I said I was going to do and do it to the best of my ability. So then we can forgive ourselves, and the byproduct of that is some level of success and being proud of who we've become in our lives. But the reason I've worked so hard at the things I've done in my life is out of pure revenge for who I had become. And I never want that person to emerge again, because that person still exists inside of me. The lying, cheating, drinking, drugging manipulator is still alive inside of me. But all the good things that I've done in my life have shrunk him down to such a size where you would almost think he's gone. But I know that if I let up on the things that made him small, he will once again grow tall. So a quick story in terms of changing as a human being. It's a great story that I love, okay? There was a spiritual teacher who was going from town to town and teaching, okay? And teaching people about love and harmony and peace and meditation and all of these great things. And he was going from town to town, and he had gathered quite a following. People loved when they saw him coming into town. They would flock, they would listen, they would learn. And as he was walking through the town one day, a man came up to him and he said, "You're nothing but a fake and a charlatan. You lead all these people, but you're full of it. You're fake. You're not real. The things that you talk about can't be true. Everything you say is false. And he spit in the teacher's face. And the spiritual teacher just wiped the spit from his face and said, "May you go forth in your life with love, peace, and harmony." And he continued on his way. Now the man stood there flabbergasted because he was looking for conflict. He just spit in that man's face and he did nothing. He went home that night. And as he sat there, he continued to try to justify how he was right and that spiritual guy, he's wrong. He's fake. He can't be real. And the man suddenly had a spiritual awakening when he realized that he was wrong. He was the one that was fake, and he was projecting all of that onto this person. And he thought, if someone spit in my face, I would have killed them. So the next morning, the man rushes from his home as the sun was rising and was trying to find the spiritual teacher before he left town. And he saw him way down the road. And he said, "Wait, wait." But the spiritual teacher kept walking. So he realized, I have to run fast. So he's running as fast as he can to catch up to the spiritual teacher. And when he finally did, he fell at his feet. He fell on his knees before the man and he said, "Please forgive me. Please, what I did yesterday was wrong. You're not fake. You are real. I had an experience last night where I saw the truth, and I need you to forgive me." And the spiritual teacher said, "Why would I forgive you?" And he said, "Because I was wrong. I see that I was wrong. I see all the errors of my ways, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to be a better person." And the teacher again took the man by the elbow and stood him up so that they were at eye level together. And he said, "Why would I forgive you?" And the man didn't have an answer other than just repeating what he just said. And the spiritual teacher said, "The man who spit in my face is gone. You're not that man, so I have nothing to forgive you for. But the trick is that now you must forgive that man." And the spiritual teacher kept walking on his way. So if you hate yourself like I did, if you're disappointed in the choices that you've made up to this point, like I did, exact revenge on yourself through success and through doing the next right thing. And through that work and through that diligence, forgiveness comes, self-love comes, harmony comes, peace comes, love comes. And then hopefully you'll be in a position to teach other people to do that in some way, shape, or form. And at the very least, lead by example.